So we're still in episode 12, about King JAJA of Opobo. So I'm going to be showing you a lot of events that goes on in inAMAIGBO village and show you how inAMAIGBO citizen perform. This is where JAJA originated from. And I have few documentary that I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to be talking about where JAJA went to, that Opobo, This is King JAJA of Opobo. This is King JAJA of Opobo. And this is how inAMAIGBO women, perform their dance, This one, they are inAMAIGBO women. They perform this dance. This is where part of JAJA came from inAMAIGBO, and this is inAMAIGBO women in Umukabia, And because JAJA is a Nigerian, so this type of wedding is the Yoruba's wedding. So I'm going to be showing you Yoruba wedding, Hausa wedding, because JAJA is from Nigeria. So we're going to touchlight every side of Nigeria, all their culture, And this culture here is River State, River State people. But this wedding was held in America, This is where JAJA came from. This is River State. So we're going to go back to Nigeria, These are Yoruba wedding because JAJA is a Nigerian, And this is one of the wedding, This is one of the wedding that JAJA village, This wedding came from JAJA of Opobo village. And this is the Asian church of inAMAIGBO, the number one Catholic church of inAMAIGBO. This is number one Catholic church of inAMAIGBO, St. Gregory, where a lot of this is their Asian church that hold them together, What are we talking about? We're talking about King JAJA of Opobo. So I'm showing you 10 documentary, These are one of the wedding, This is one of the wedding. Right. This is another wedding from inAMAIGBO. Another wedding from inAMAIGBO. This wedding. This is where JAJA came from. This one of their traditional wedding, about JAJA of Opobo. So this wedding is from where JAJA of Opobo came from. King JAJA of Opobo. This wedding from King JAJA of Opobo, where JAJA of Opobo originated from. We are talking about King JAJA of Opobo, where JAJA of Opobo came from. That JAJA was a great farmer. King JAJA of Opobo that came from inAMAIGBO Umuturoha. This is another wedding, Another wedding. This is the bride, another wedding. We are talking about King JAJA of Opobo. King JAJA of Opobo is a slave that become a king, and he's a great farmer, King JAJA of Opobo. This is King JAJA of Opobo. This is about King JAJA of Opobo. These are the wedding, but there's a lot of events going on that documentary of King JAJA of Opobo, King JAJA of Opobo documentary. Because JAJA of Opobo is from Nigeria. So I'm showing you this wedding is from Nigeria, because we are talking about how people marry, have people different culture in Nigeria, how they got married, how they look, how they dress. This is one of the Nigerian wedding, from King JAJA of Opobo. King JAJA of Opobo, that was a slave who went to Opobo Kingdom, and he was a great farmer. That's why I said, stop killing the farmer. Stop killing the farmer, because JAJA of Opobo saw it ahead, saw the sun. When the sun is shining, there is something greater than slave. There is something greater than slave. That is palm oil. JAJA pursue palm oil and say the answer is not slave, but palm oil. So we're on episode 12, we're on episode 12. So I think on episode 12, we want to talk about everything about wedding, the type of dress, how they dress. This is when a bride is looking for the husband. This is one type of dressing, about King JAJA of Opobo. And this one type of dressing as well. This is how the northern side of Nigeria they dress. So we're going to be touchlighting every corner of Nigeria. And this is how the River State people dress, because there's 37 states in Nigeria. These are the River State people. King JAJA of Opobo. We are talking about King JAJA of Opobo, a great king, a slave who became a king, who's extended it to international, who saw palm oil, who saw that slavery is not the answer, that I will build a Opobo kingdom with palm oil, and I will exported it. King JAJA of Opobo did not go and start looking for how he's going to loot the money, and send it to international country. Rather, he saw that building the country is an achievement that we attract people to come to Opobo Kingdom, to see the tourism people. King JAJA of Opobo. So he's a great king, and we need to talk about him. We need to let people know what JAJA stands for, because JAJA is an icon. He's a farmer, he's a leader, he's a legend, he's a CEO of many companies because he's a big CEO, because he has to export his oil to Liverpool. King JAJA of Opobo. And from King JAJA of Opobo, I can show you few cultures of the where JAJA came from. This is one of their culture. One of their culture, how the women dress. This is one of their culture. You can see, that is one of the culture where JAJA came from. Ami Umudroha. This is inAMAIGBO. JAJA originated from inAMAIGBO, why he was sold as a slave, and see, this is their native dress, They know them with this type of different villages, like that's 39 villages in inAMAIGBO. Umukabia have their own, Umudroha have their own, Umano have their own. Different villages, they have their uniform, This is one of the uniform. This is Umudroha. This is one of their uniform anyway. King JAJA of Opobo, you see them with this uniform. That is what bring them together, bring them with unity, bring them with love, bring them with so many other things. King JAJA of Opobo, King JAJA of Opobo, that was a great king, a great farmer. He persevered. He saw it ahead. He saw that slavery is not the answer. What is the answer? The answer is palm oil. He saw soundness, that I need to tell these people buying slave that there is something greater than slave. What is it? palm oil. Jaja start farming his palm oil, starts exporting it to Liverpool. See, he's a great farmer, King Jaja of Opobo. So this is King Jaja of Opobo, King Jaja of Opobo, who came from inAMAIGBO, King Jaja of Opobo. So we're going to be talking a lot about King Jaja of Opobo, how he excelled, how he promoted agriculture, how he expanded his kingship, his kingdom, how he built Opobo kingdom. Not all this looting, not sending our money to Switzerland, sending roping people. King Jaja of Opobo build the future so that future generation, he extended his hand. He made sure they have good education, good roads as of during their own time. But this present government, Nigerian government, all what they are into looting. Looting. King Jaja of Opobo did not promote looting, rather they promote ambition, they promote persevering, they promote spirit of soundness and boldness, they promote wisdom, they promote knowledge. They did not give up. They did not give up. Jaja came to United Kingdom because he doesn't want his people to die. When they invited Jaja to United Kingdom, he can reject the invitation, but he said, no, let me go and answer them. Let me see why they are calling me. Jaja die. Jaja stand for his people, So Nigerian leaders, you should stand for the youth. Biafran leaders, you should stand for the youth. Otutuwa nation, you can start. The youth are the future generation. So we are talking about King Jaja of Opobo. We are talking about the marriages that happen in Nigeria. We are talking about slavery. And I'm still young, so I'm not cool enough to do like we are talking about the marriages that happen in inAMAIGBO. We are talking about how to promote the legacy that Jaja left behind, how we can promote it, how we can push more, how we can continue, not to stop. King Jaja of Opobo. We are talking about the culture, the agriculture, the women farming, to support them, not to kill the farmer. We're talking about how to stop terrorism in Nigeria, the whole world. We are talking about how to boost the young people. We're talking about royalty, because King Jaja of Opobo is a king, he's a royal king, a royal king and a powerful king. So we are talking about King Jaja of Opobo, and we're talking about culture, we're talking about science, we're talking about geography, we're talking about politics, how to provide, because when you have good politicians, they will build the country. When you have good historians, we will tell the story. When we have good mathematicians, they will promote the science. So we need to talk about a lot. King Jaja of Opobo. We need to empower the women. We need to empower. We need to people agitating for good government. We need to support them. So we're talking about this great king who came from where Shining Light TV station came from. inAMAIGBO, Umuduroha, Neji Okwaro Zurumba, King Jaja of Opobo. We are talking about a great king that went to level of international. That is King Jaja of Opobo. Thank you.